Are you tired of making that dry baked chicken? Well, guess what? You are watching the right channel. I'm going to show you how to make this juicy Haitian flavorful baked chicken. Get into it. All right, so I know that intro was a bit much, but it did get your attention because, hey, you've gotten this far. So I'm going to show you the ingredients that I use, or part of the ingredients that I use for this recipe. Starting off with my sour orange. Haitians love to use some sour orange and limes. I use 4 limes for this recipe, and I'm showing you the lime squeezer that I have along with my 2 knives. I have a larger knife and a smaller knife, and we cannot forget the salt. The salt is the key ingredient in this recipe. So when we're cleaning chicken leg quarters, to me, it's best to cut them in half. The reason being is you can clean more of the chicken, as well as it makes a little bit more, especially if you're feeding a larger family or if you're serving a party or anything like that, and you're going to have a good amount of people. Cutting them in half is probably the best thing to do because you can serve more. So me personally, I usually remove the skin from the chicken. It's just a personal preference. There are some people that like to keep the skin on. I myself, when I am prepping chicken, I like to remove the skin unless I'm making fried chicken. So this is me just showing you how I'm removing the fat and doing a thorough cleaning. So I just want you to watch this step so you can see exactly how I clean my chicken. All right, so I want you to go ahead and put 2 slits in the chicken thigh as well as the chicken leg. So when it comes to marinating, everything can be soaked up. Those slits allow for the seasoning to seep into the chicken. All right, be sure to also have a bag nearby so you can collect all of the skin that you've removed, all of the, the excess things that you don't want in the chicken. Keep a bag nearby. It's just for sanitary practice in my case. You see that I'm working on the chicken leg next. Watch me carefully as I use my larger knife to remove the skin. This is just good to watch so that, maybe I'm teaching you a new technique on how to remove the skin. As you can see, I did the same thing I did to the chicken thigh, to the chicken leg where I put 2 slits. And this part right here, it's a little bit more tricky, but I'm telling you, it's just removing the veins from the leg. You know how people are like, oh, you don't need to clean your chicken. Don't listen to them people. Don't listen. They don't know what they're talking about. I seen one of my favorite chefs on TikTok, y'all. My heart was broken. She was like, I'm trying to, imitate her voice. I'm going to wash my chicken, but it's not like it does anything. Something along those lines. And I was like, oh, my chest. Why you can't keep your opinion to yourself? I get it. When we go and we eat out, we know those people ain't really cleaning the meat, but at least when you're home, clean your meat, okay? But hey, that's just my opinion. Do what you do, you in your home. Don't come in those comments talking mess. I'm just joking. But, it doesn't hurt. To me, it's just taking, extra precautions when you're cooking at home. We're already taking a risk when we eat out. So to me, this is just, putting that little step in your cooking. So, hey, that's just me. A little chit chat, So now that I'm done, an additional step that I like to take is sanitizing my board as well as the area where I was cleaning my meat. It's a lot of bacteria already. And it's also best to wear gloves as well. That's me. That's what I do. So I'm just giving, some tips, some tricks that you can use. And I just wash my cutting board. I also throw away the sponge afterwards because I just don't want to keep it around. That's just something I do. So these are the 4 limes that I am using. I go ahead and I cut them in half. Now, after I've cut my limes, I'm going to move to the sour orange. I'm only going to remove half of the skin from my sour orange. Reason being is once I'm trying to get the juices from the sour orange, it becomes extremely mushy. So the best way to get a grip on it is to just remove half of the skin. And then you're going to be sure to, when you're squeezing it, to hold your hand a certain way so you can collect the seeds. So that's what I'm doing here. That's a little trick that you can use as well. So when using your lime squeezer or lemon squeezer, be sure to turn the lime upside down or the other side. I hope I'm saying that correctly. So that way you can remove as much juice as you can. Haitians really love, or I should say, Caribbean people love to use lime and all of that because it's really good for sanitizing, cleaning your meat, killing bacteria, but it also gives that extra flavor. This is what I was saying about the sour orange. You see how mushy it's getting? So I'm taking my hand and I'm making sure that I put it under the sour orange. As I'm squeezing it, I'm collecting the seeds. We don't want to bite into our chicken and we're like, oh, what's this? Girl, seed. You don't want chicken seed. Okay, you just want the chicken. So I'm just being sure that I'm collecting everything. Meanwhile, I'm, trying to evenly disperse these sour orange. So sour orange and lime are the key factors to, key ingredients, I should say, when it comes to cleaning your meat. So we're not going to get rid of those limes just yet. We're going to be sure to use the inside of those limes to clean that chicken. Okay, it's just like we're giving it a scrub a dub dub. Everybody in the tub. Let me stop. Who I think I am, a rapper. But just be sure to do that with each, with each piece that you cut up. Be sure to get the front, the back, and the slits and everything. It's just extra. Then when you're done, you can go ahead and get rid of the limes. This is that excess lime juice and sour orange. We need that. That's important. And we're also going to be sure that if we're not planning to cook that day, we're just doing the prep where we're cleaning. You can leave this soaking or marinating overnight. It will be the best thing. I'm telling you, you won't regret it. So we can't forget the next step is to use some salt. Okay. I used about a tablespoon of salt. And it's just gonna marinate. I'm gonna let it marinate overnight because I want to make sure that the sour orange, the lime, and the salt are all absorbed. Okay, so that way all I have to do is use some cold water to remove any excess, excess like skin or anything that I see on there, or that little slimy part. I don't know the correct name. And then use hot water, which you're going to see in this video. And then we use our seasoning, which is Epis, EPIS. I'm going to make sure I have it on the screen. And Epis is a blended seasonings. I'm going to make sure to link a video of how I make my Epis. So just be sure to look for the ingredients that I used in this video, as well as the link to my video on how I made Epis. So this is the following day. I am rinsing the chicken in cold water and removing any excess, that's, slimy or skin that I see on there that I don't like, I just remove it. And this is how it looks after I've, washed it in some cold water. And I put it in a bowl, of course, and make sure I drained all the water. Next, I use some very hot boiling temperatured water. Okay, this is kind of pre-cooking the chicken so that when it bakes, it's even better. Make sure to spray my pan, and this is the Epis I was talking about earlier, and the link will be in the description. Of course, be sure to follow that so you can recreate this. And this tomato paste usually gives color to the chicken. So I mix the tomato paste and my Epis together with a little bit of oil, and I make sure that it is well coated. So again, this is the tomato paste with my blended seasoning called Epis. And afterwards, I just pop that baby in the oven at 350 to 360 degrees. And I did bake it for approximately an hour to an hour and 15 minutes, only because I know how I like my chicken. I like it a certain way. Be sure to flip it so that both sides can be baked. Everyone is a little bit different. Some people may like their chicken like that, but for me, I like my chicken to be a little bit brown. So after baking is done, this is the end results. I really hope that you enjoyed watching this video. Thank you for taking the time to watch. I hope you like, comment, subscribe, and click that notification bell. All right.
Depuis week-end arrivé, va nous